And with sources telling us that Judge Amy Coney Barrett will be President Trump's Supreme Court pick, we turn now to the future of Roe v. Wade and abortion rights in America. A potential 6-3 conservative majority could pose the greatest threat yet to that watershed decision that made abortion legal across this country. And this is just one of several hot button issues like health care and voting rights that could now be transformed for decades to come. ABC's Kira Phillips has this report.
The death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has forced abortion rights advocates to face their biggest fear, a decidedly conservative majority on the highest court and the potential reversal of a woman's right to choose.
Unfortunately, to be an abortion provider in the United States at this time involves a lot of scenario planning.
Amy Miller runs 8 abortion clinics in Indiana, Texas, Minnesota, Virginia, and Maryland. She worries some will have to close if abortion is outlawed in many parts of the country.
I think what will emerge is what I've come to think of almost as 2 different Americas, where people might have access to safe abortion care depending upon where they live.
Roe v. Wade was a landmark decision for women's reproductive rights back in 1973.
The Supreme Court today ruled that abortion is completely a private matter to be decided by mother and doctor in the first 3 months of pregnancy. The 7-2 ruling to that effect will probably result in a drastic overhaul of state laws on abortion.
Legalizing abortion nationwide, the ruling has since faced numerous court challenges as some states narrow abortion rights. But after 47 years, it still remains the law of the land. During his 2016 presidential campaign, then candidate Donald Trump made a promise during his debate with Hillary Clinton.
Do you want to see the court overturn Roe v. Wade?
Well, if we put another 2 or perhaps 3 justices on, that's really what's going to be, that will happen. And that'll happen automatically, in my opinion, because I am putting pro-life justices on the court. I will say this, it will go back to the states, and the states will then make a determination.
This is something central to a woman's life, to her dignity. It's a decision that she must make for herself.
The notorious RBG, as she's affectionately called by some of her fans, consistently voted in favor of women's reproductive rights during her 27 years on the Supreme Court. But if President Trump's nominee to replace her is confirmed,
I think a court with a 3rd Trump justice on it will almost certainly overturn Roe v. Wade outright rather than simply chip away at it.
And that would mean the right to abortion would be up to each state.
In many states, there are actually laws on the books that will be triggered, will go into effect if Roe is overturned. So overnight, you will have a number of states in which abortion becomes illegal across the board.
Abortion would likely remain legal in these 21 states and be banned or restricted in 24 others, plus 3 territories. Dr. Sunithia Williams is an abortion provider in Alabama.
I would be in a situation where I would be saying, I can't provide you this care, and it's only based on where you live. That if you live somewhere else, if you lived in a different state or a different zip code, that you would be able to seek this care with little to no difficulty. That would be devastating.
Abortion clinics in states where abortion is legal could become destinations for those in need.
They're going to become haven states that will need to not only take care of the people who live there, but figure out ways that we can help people from other states who may need to travel in for safe abortion care.
Anti-abortion advocates recognize the reality that abortion may never be completely banned, but that constitutionally, the Supreme Court shakeup is finally a chance to correct what they say is a historic wrong.
Mallory, you say Roe versus Wade was a mistake. It was wrong. Why?
With the Roe versus Wade decision, a group of unelected men struck down in a single day every pro-life law that was protecting women, protecting babies at the state level. That was a profoundly undemocratic ruling, and the court legislating from the bench. We don't want to see the court creating law and policy. They should be ruling on the constitutionality rather than creating legislation themselves.
Kira Phillips, ABC News Live, Washington.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.